Let's take a look at how to use the calculator, specifically the TI-83, in order to find some of these descriptive statistics for us. If you've got a TI-84, you may need to spend a little bit of time with Google because the procedures are slightly different, not terribly. Shouldn't be much of a problem to find out how to do this stuff for the 84. I don't have an 84, so I can't show you that. In person to person, I can help you with those differences. First thing we need to do is turn the calculator on. That should put us at our home screen. If it's not at the home screen, second mode quits whatever special place you're at and sends you back to the home screen. We are looking at statistics. So we're going to go to stat. And the first thing we want to do is to put our data into the calculator. It's not going to be able to find the statistics if we don't have the data in the calculator first. So our first option here is edit. We can either use the enter key to select that, or since it's option number 1, we can hit 1 to get to edit. And that brings us to our lists screen. You may or may not, depending on what your calculator did last, you may or may not have data in list 1. We're never going to use any of the other lists. That's not true. We might use list 2 later on in the semester, but we're going to stick with L1 for the time being. To get the stuff out of there, arrow up to the label, L1, hit clear, and then enter. And that will remove all those. Or you can delete them one by one if you really want to by scrolling down through the list and using the delete key. I'm going to use the same data we used for the example in the measures of center, where we had 1, 2, a couple 3s. Right, so just typing them in and hitting enter, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you notice it says L1 and then 9 in parentheses. That's telling you that you're on the 9th entry in the list. So you know if you maybe have skipped one or put one in twice or something like that. So there we go. I've got all of those 9 numbers in like we had before. The first empty spot is number 10. I want to go back to the home screen. Second, quit. That puts us at our home screen. And we want to calculate our statistics. So we're going to go to stat, and this time over to calc. And the first choice is one variable statistics. That's what we want. We hit enter to go back to the home screen and select one variable statistics. And then we hit enter again to execute the one variable statistics. And it gives us our list here. It tells us that X bar is 4.33333, which is what we had before. That's the mean. Okay, X bar is the mean. Sigma X, that's what we got when we added all of them together, right? We got 39. Sigma X squared is something you can ignore. S of X you can ignore also. Sigma X, small sigma X, remember, is the standard deviation. And that's the one we're going to care about. We're not going to care about the SX, which is another version of the standard deviation. We care about sigma X. So what we care about here, X bar is the mean. Sigma X is the standard deviation. And there were 9 numbers. That's just counting them. That's not terribly useful. And then what we got here is X min, Q1, the median, Q3, and the maximum. On the board, I referred to these as Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. This is what we're going to call the 5-number summary in another video here, not too long. But for our purposes, this is the minimum and the maximum. Those are the ones you would subtract in order to get the range. The median is the median, right? The one in the middle. And then Q1 and Q3, that's that upper third quartile and lower first quartile that tell us where the middle half of this data is. So all of the data is between 1 and 8, and the range is 7. And the middle half of the data is between 2.5 and 6.5. Subtract those, that gives us our interquartile range. So when you plug the stuff in the calculator, it will give you, for very few keystrokes, the range, the interquartile range, the median, the mean, and the standard deviation. Now, I'm not going to repeat that for a bunch of examples because it's the same exact keystrokes every time. However many times you need to watch this, rewind it and watch it again until you remember those keystrokes and understand. And I will see you again soon.